The baddest man on the planet versus the problem child. Mike Tyson, the legendary boxer of the 80s and 90s, returning at 58, faced Jake Paul, a YouTube star turned controversial fighter. This showdown blended old-school dominance with modern bravado, becoming one of the most talked-about bouts in recent boxing history. The buildup was intense. Fiery press conferences, social media jabs, and Jake Paul's confidence, despite lacking traditional boxing experience. Tyson, fueled by his love for the sport, aimed to prove he still had it. Was this a real contest or just another celebrity spectacle? For Tyson, the fight wasn't about money, it was personal. After years of retirement, it was his chance to reconnect with his legacy. Jake Paul, with nothing to lose, saw it as an opportunity to prove he belonged in boxing, despite his critics calling him a fake fighter. Step into the ring with us, subscribe to Glove Goals, and get your front row seat to boxing's biggest moments. Did you know Tyson lost over 25 pounds and overcame a major health scare just to make this fight happen? How does someone half his age prepare for that kind of battle? AT&T Stadium in Dallas buzzed with over 70,000 fans, creating the perfect atmosphere for a historic fight. As the fighters entered the ring, the contrast was clear. Tyson's calm, intimidating presence versus Paul's brash showmanship. The stare-down was intense, with both men fully aware of the high stakes. What do you think was going through Tyson's mind as he faced a man young enough to be his son? Anger, or something deeper? This wasn't just about skill or titles, it was about legacy. For Tyson, it was proving age didn't matter. For Jake Paul, it was silencing his critics. With strict rules in place for safety, the anticipation was palpable. Paul wasn't just fighting Tyson, he was facing decades of boxing history. Tyson wasn't just facing Paul, he was battling time itself. Did you know Tyson trained for 8 months before the fight, surprising many trainers with his speed and power at 58? The fight kicked off with Tyson's usual aggression, throwing sharp jabs and testing Jake Paul's defense. Tyson's movements were deliberate and powerful, a reminder of his prime. Paul, surprisingly composed, used footwork and counterpunching to stay in the fight. Early on, it was clear Paul wasn't just there to survive, he wanted to win. What gave Paul the confidence to trade punches with Tyson? Was it preparation or sheer bravado? As the rounds progressed, Tyson's pressure had the crowd roaring. His hooks and uppercuts echoed his prime. But Paul, unexpectedly, absorbed the punches and countered with precision. The turning point came in the 4th round when Paul landed a right hand that stunned Tyson, followed by a flurry of quick combinations. Did you know Jake Paul's team studied Tyson's 1990 loss to Buster Douglas, aiming to exploit his defense in later rounds? By the middle of the fight, Paul's age and conditioning began to shine. Tyson's endurance was tested as Paul pressed forward. In the 5th round, Tyson launched a flurry of punches, staggering Paul, but Paul slipped under a hook and countered with a devastating left, shocking the crowd. What was going through Tyson's mind at that moment? Was he surprised by Paul's resilience or just running out of gas? The back and forth kept fans guessing until the final bell. Tyson's grit was matched by Paul's surprising adaptability. In the 6th round, both exchanged blows, refusing to back down. By the end, the crowd was split. Some thought Tyson's pressure gave him the edge. Others pointed to Paul's technical counters. Did you know Tyson's post-fight interviews often reveal his emotional side? What do you think he'll say about Jake Paul after this incredible match? As the final rounds approached, Jake Paul seemed to have momentum after stunning Tyson in the 5th round. For a brief moment, it looked like Paul could achieve the unthinkable, defeating Tyson. But instead of pressing his advantage, Paul hesitated, circling the ring and landing jabs without going for the finish. Was it a lack of confidence, or did he underestimate Tyson's ability to recover? Despite his fatigue, Tyson continued to show the heart of a champion. His movements slowed, but he kept fighting, refusing to go down. In the final round, both fighters had their moments, with Paul landing sharp shots and Tyson delivering bursts of power. When the bell rang, the arena erupted in applause. Did Tyson's mental toughness make Paul hesitate? When the judge's decision was announced, the reactions were mixed. Fans debated whether Tyson's aggression or Paul's technical precision swayed the scoring. Was the fight judged fairly, or did the result raise more questions? The aftermath divided fans and experts. For Paul, the missed opportunity overshadowed his strong performance, while Tyson's resilience showcased his refusal to back down. Did Tyson's ability to adapt in the ring separate him from Paul? After the fight, social media erupted with accusations that the match was too scripted. Critics pointed out moments where Tyson seemed to hold back or where Paul appeared hesitant. Some believe the fight was manipulated to protect both fighters' reputations. Do you think the fight was manipulated, or are fans overreacting? Jake Paul has faced accusations of fixed fights before, such as his bouts with Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren. The Tyson match added weight to these claims, with some wondering if there were hidden clauses in his contracts. Could the rumors about no knockout clauses be true? Tyson called the allegations nonsense and insisted nothing was scripted in the ring. However, his uncharacteristic patience raised questions about his strategy. Was Tyson's performance a tactical decision, or does it raise doubts? Boxing is as much a spectacle as a sport. This fight generated over $50 million in pay-per-view sales, leading some to wonder if the outcome was designed to maximize revenue. Could the business side of boxing influence how the fight played out? Jake Paul expressed pride in his performance, emphasizing that fighting Tyson was about pushing boundaries and entertaining fans. He acknowledged it was his toughest fight yet, but focused on extending the match rather than seeking a knockout. Does Paul's entertainment-focused approach hurt his credibility as a serious boxer? Tyson viewed the fight as a personal challenge, reflecting on it with satisfaction. He admitted to holding back at times, showing respect to Paul's preparation and hunger, which sparked debate about whether Tyson was too lenient or mentoring through action. Was Tyson's approach too lenient, or was it a tactical choice? Paul's career was further solidified, while Tyson reminded fans that his fighting spirit remained strong. Tyson left the door open for more exhibition fights, leaving fans wondering about a possible rematch. What's next for both fighters, and could a rematch happen? The fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul wasn't just a spectacle, it reignited conversations about the future of boxing. Celebrity bouts like these are drawing millions of eyes, attracting a new wave of fans to the sport. But for purists, the question remains, is this helping or hurting boxing's legacy? On one hand, events like Tyson versus Paul bring unprecedented attention, blending entertainment with athleticism. Jake Paul's ability to market fights has introduced the sport to a younger audience, boosting its popularity. However, critics argue that this attention comes at a cost. The focus shifts from skill and tradition to theatrics and social media drama. Can celebrity fights coexist with the essence of traditional boxing? In stark contrast to Tyson versus Paul, the co-main event featuring Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano reminded fans of boxing's roots. The match was an intense, skillful display of athleticism, hailed as one of the greatest women's bouts in recent history. Taylor's precision and Serrano's relentless aggression showcased the very essence of competitive boxing. Boxing isn't just a sport, it's a story. Subscribe to Glove Goals and be part of the journey. The comparison was inevitable. While Tyson versus Paul delivered entertainment, Taylor versus Serrano offered pure boxing mastery. Many fans left the arena asking, what is boxing truly about, legacy or popularity? Did you know? The Taylor-Serrano fight broke records for viewership in women's boxing, proving there's still room for authentic competition in the sport. Boxing now stands at a crossroads. On one side, there's the flashy, marketable world of celebrity matchups, and on the other, the raw, authentic battles of seasoned professionals. As both styles coexist, the sport must find a way to honor its traditions while embracing new opportunities. Will boxing evolve or lose its identity in this era of crossover bouts? After the dust settled from Tyson versus Paul, the internet erupted with mixed reactions. On social media, memes flooded timelines, with fans and critics alike poking fun at the fight's unpredictable nature. Some saw it as a farce, another circus act in the world of celebrity boxing. Others, though, appreciated the spectacle, arguing that it was just a new form of entertainment for a younger audience. The debate over the fight's value as real boxing continues to stir emotions. Was it a true clash of titans, or just another cash grab disguised as a fight? Fans who grew up watching the purest form of the sport weren't impressed, but a new generation, raised on viral moments and TikTok drama, found it thrilling. What's more important, entertainment or authenticity in the world of sports? The fight didn't just stir up public debate, it also caught the attention of some of boxing's greatest figures. Evander Holyfield, a legend in his own right, made it clear that he was not a fan of the spectacle. He criticized the matchup, calling out the lack of real competition in such bouts. Holyfield's opinion carried weight, as he's seen firsthand what true boxing legends go through inside the ring. Magic Johnson, though, took a different stance. While he didn't dive into the technicalities of the fight, he acknowledged its broader impact on sports culture. Magic praised the hype that followed the fight, recognizing how it helped boost the visibility of boxing. especially among the younger generation. His perspective highlighted how these celebrity fights serve as an entry point for many who might not have considered boxing otherwise. Did you know that despite the mixed reactions, celebrity boxing matches often generate more pay-per-view buys than traditional fights, proving the undeniable power of celebrity influence? After his high-profile loss to Mike Tyson, Jake Paul wasted no time in making waves again. The controversial YouTube star-turned-boxer, known for his trash-talking and bold challenges, set his sights on even bigger names in the sport. First on his radar was none other than Canelo Alvarez, widely regarded as one of the best pound-for-pound boxers in the world. Paul, as expected, took to social media, posting a direct challenge to Canelo, taunting him to step into the ring. But here's the catch. Paul's call-out wasn't based on logic or even the semblance of a fair fight. No, it was more of a calculated move to stir the pot, to get the fans talking, and to keep his name in the headlines. After all, Paul has made a career out of shocking the world and drawing attention, whether he's winning or losing. The question on everyone's mind was, is Jake Paul serious about fighting Canelo, or is this just another publicity stunt? Could Paul really be ready to face Canelo, or is he just chasing fame and headlines? However, the real entertainment came when Conor McGregor caught wind of Paul's challenge. Known for his quick wit and fiery responses, McGregor couldn't resist poking fun at Paul's audacity. With a touch of humor, McGregor mocked Paul's aspirations of facing him, calling it laughable and completely out of the realm of possibility. McGregor's dismissal of Paul's challenge was a perfect example of how the world of celebrity boxing is seen by established athletes. For McGregor, a seasoned and respected fighter, Paul's call-out was more of a joke than a serious proposition. McGregor's response only intensified the online drama, with fans jumping in on both sides, some supporting McGregor's no-nonsense approach and others enjoying the entertainment of watching these two polarizing figures collide in the media. Did you know that McGregor has a history of playful trolling, but also real beef with other fighters, like Khabib Nurmagomedov? His online antics have often led to real-life confrontations. As the dust settled after the controversial fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, Tyson himself took a moment to reflect on the experience. Despite the loss, Tyson expressed his gratitude for being able to step into the ring once again and showcase his skills. It wasn't just about the victory or defeat for Tyson. It was about proving to himself that he still had the heart and the fire that made him a legend in the sport. His pride in the fight wasn't shaken by the outcome. He had come into the ring with a clear goal, to give it his all, and he did just that, regardless of the result. Did you know that Tyson's journey back to the ring after retirement was more about personal redemption than anything else? Meanwhile, Jake Paul, who had fought tooth and nail to claim his spot in the boxing world, celebrated the win with a lavish post-fight party. The man who once built his fame on YouTube antics and pranks had now stepped into the ring and beaten a true legend of the sport. His celebration was nothing short of extravagant, with a huge bash complete with music, friends, and, of course, a lot of media attention. It seemed like a victory lap, not just for Paul, but for his entire "I'm a real fighter now" narrative. Whether it was genuine pride or simply a way to solidify his place in the boxing world, the lavish affair made headlines of its own. But here's the question. Did Jake Paul's party overshadow the fight itself? Finally, as we look back on the Tyson versus Paul bout, it's clear that the fight itself became a microcosm of the modern state of boxing. Divisive, dramatic, and far from traditional, it captured the essence of celebrity-driven sports events in today's age. Many questioned the legitimacy of the match, but at the end of the day, the event drew attention, sparked debates, and put both Tyson and Paul at the center of a media storm. Whether or not the fight belonged in the realm of professional boxing, it certainly made an impact. Is this the future of boxing, where spectacle outweighs tradition? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more dramatic insights into the world of combat sports, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think should be Jake Paul's next challenge? Let's talk about it below.